Welcome, everybody, to Two Man Power Trip, the Black Man Starting a Nerd Lifestyle. I'm Nicholas, Mr. Go with the Flow.
And I'm the man with the plan, Maurice.
And we're back with another edition of the Blerd By Nature Podcast. Big Zilla and the 5'3" Illa from Tokyo, Black Anime Podcast number 202 in the building. What's up, co-host?
What's good, bro? What's good?
What's up? We back on a rainy night indeed, but we here.
Yes, we are.
Yep. So let's step into some vibe, guys. How was your weekend?
My weekend was pretty chill. I didn't do too much. Hold on. Yeah, I
just chilling for now.
Just chilling, some spring cleaning or late spring cleaning. You know, I'm always
I think we still in spring for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, so just cleaning up stuff, trying to get stuff out already. Work was just been work. Same shit.
How you been dealing with this weather?
Boy, whoo! Some days it's been hot. Today I ain't take my ass nowhere because it was muggy as fuck.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I ain't going nowhere today. I was like,
that made me fearful for the summer. This heat about to be silly if the end of spring is kind of acting up like this. This heat about to start hitting just like that one time when we was with the VOE homies. Like that day we recorded, I remember it was super blazing.
Yeah, see, I can deal with the heat. It's just this humidity that come with it, boy. I can't.
Yeah, it's that muggy feeling and shit like that where you feel mad mossy and shit.
Yeah, so beyond staying inside today, I fixed my office chair because office chair was getting old, and every time I sat in it, instead of staying up, it would go down, and I had to lift it back up, and it would go down.
It sounded like it needed that WD-40.
Yeah, so I had to change the piston gas pump in it. I was like, okay, because it's getting on my nerves.
Had to get on your construction shit.
Yeah, so I spent most of the day fixing that, getting that together. So it's all good now. Ain't going up and down no more. So that's
what's up. That's what's up. Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do so you don't crash on out mid work call or something.
Man, that it didn't happen to me a couple times. I was like, okay. I was like, I'm doing oh shit.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, today we have to go over what the fuck? Where'd he go?
That bro, I'm telling you. I was like, all right, that's it. I was like, all right, Amazon, okay, let me find. Okay, ordered that. Came today. I was like, okay, let me go put this shit on right there.
Thanks. Boy, that shit embarrassing.
Man, she tried to take me out a couple times already.
Oh my god.
So I was like, oh, okay.
Chair management trying to come for your soul.
Trying to take me out for real. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna want that. Give me sit my do. I'm like, oh
Jesus Christ, man, nothing worse when you lean a bit too far and you see your life flash before your eyes when that shit's about to crash out.
That's exactly what happened. I was like, oh, nah.
That's crazy.
Like, what we not about to do is this.
Well, yeah. Hell no. I'm about to take me out right now.
Yep.
Shit. But yeah, so my vibe, guys, the weekend was chill the same. Me and Kenya. So there's like a nice small new brunch spot in Union that's called Little Unla or something like that. It got like souffle pancakes and stuff like that. It's all day brunch type shit. It's right by Party and just that area by Union 14 and stuff like that. So they mad nice. It's a small place in there, but you can get seats and stuff like that. But they have plenty of good stuff. Sandwiches good, pasta good, pancakes is good. They got boba, so everything good over there. So just kind of roam around and stuff like that. And then we hit Hex and Co and stuff, play a little board games and stuff like that. It's been a minute, so I've been into Hex and Co and shit like that. So that was nice. Other than that, yeah, this week's chilling for the most part. Figuring stuff, putting stuff together for the next couple of busy Saturdays and stuff like that. We got one coming up this weekend and stuff like that. So yeah, another chill for the most part. Week been working and stuff like that. So nonetheless,
No more fights?
No, not this time. I think the heat ironically was not triggering anybody's wildness this week apparently.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So nonetheless, so switching off into off the cuff discussions. We can chat on. So I got like two small side questions to ask you with this off the cuff discussions this week. I wanted to ask, what film franchises in your opinion, do you think should have got a sequel or another follow-up? So it could be like a third movie or fourth movie or whatever. But what movie franchise that didn't get this, like a sequel or another follow-up movie, did you wish that they had?
Ooh, wow, this is a tough. Should have got it.
Yeah, that hasn't gotten one already, or a third, or like a third or fourth movie.
Going back, I'll take this back all the way to my childhood. I always wanted a sequel to Where Back a Dinosaur Story. I don't know why.
Ooh, oh yeah, okay, yeah. I see
but
that, yeah.
I just felt the way it ended, but it's just like I felt that there was probably more there.
Definitely, I can see that.
I would have said Lion King, but I forgot. I forget that there already is a
There's
sequel.
Lion King 2, Lion King 1.5.
I've just never watched them.
That's crazy, yo. Definitely at least Lion King 2 off the docket.
Yeah, because I was in a discussion about that. It was like, yeah, Lion 2 was better, and I was like, I've never seen Lion King 2. I can't tell you.
That's crazy.
You know what I would have liked to see a sequel to?
What?
But it probably would have never happened. Set it off.
I understand. Well, no, yeah. But where do you think the story would have gone in your head?
You know what? It might have found on Cleo. I don't know, but it's just one of those things. Like I said, it ended on the high note where it's like,
yeah,
I could have saw it having a sequel. Just see more of a where are they now type deal.
Whoever's left, yeah,
right.
All right, yeah. No, them's are some good, interesting choices for sure. And the second part of the question is, what American shows or movies would you want them to get the anime treatment that's been trending so far? So, in an example, they just came out on Netflix the announcement that they'll be coming out soon with the Tomb Raider anime, the Terminator anime. They're working on the Suicide Squad anime that's coming out this summer and stuff like that. So what American show or movie series do you want to get do you want to give like an anime treatment to it? Like what would you want to see become an anime?
You know what's funny? I'm in the camp where I don't want that done. I'm usually of the thought process of a live action. I'd rather stay that way.
I'm on the camp that says I'd rather see what they can do from live action to anime more than anime to live action.
And I guess because for me, it's gonna lose. I've always felt it's gonna lose something.
I feel like that more comes in the case of turning something cartoon to live action, because you can't animate expressions and stuff like that as easy, because that's how the whole discussion with the Lion King thing even started. Because if you was turning like take that Lion King movie, if that was the first thing we got and then you animated that over to be the Lion King that we got back in the day, what do you think the feelings would have been? Because I feel like a lot of people argued the reason they didn't like the Lion King live action movie is because you couldn't tell people's expressions with the Nat Geo style of realistic things that they were going with. Because a lot of people, like, I think I've seen a meme this week that put like a side by side representation of why it looked like Simba didn't give a shit when his father got killed, in comparison to like the ears was going down, the emotion and stuff. Like that's usually expressed better when you can do stuff. You can constrain a body better in animation than you can in but I guess that also depends on the animation you're using as well.
So I usually don't, when it comes to switching those two, I usually don't like to it.
I get it.
And that's just personal thing.
I get it.
If that's where the medium started, that's usually where I like it to stay.
I get it. But
what do you got stuff? Then you got stuff like Good Times.
Oh yeah. That's that. Once again, it all depends on who has ownership over what. But do you have something in mind that if anything would have come across
something I would give the anime that hasn't been done?
Like off the bat, if I think in my head,
I think they did that too. I would say Ghost Rider, but they did that. No, they would.
They did like X-Men and Blade. I don't even think they did Ghost Rider yet.
No, Ghost Rider would work.
Ghost Rider would good. I think I would love to see a Predator, especially if they specifically pick like a storyline, like that one thing that was going around when Prey came out, and they wanted a Predator to go through like times and shit like that. Like if we got the Predator actually going through a legit feudal Japan and shit like that,
that'll work.
Yeah, I can see that. I want to see what the hell they're doing with Terminator. I'm
surprised Terminator hasn't had a cartoon. That's wild.
That's why. Hey man, Netflix decided. Hey man, we're working on that whatsoever. Tomb Raider. I've never always been a crazy thing about Tomb Raider, but I watch the show, see what they do with it and stuff like that. So I'm more interested with the mediums that I haven't always been crazy about, seeing what they can do worked as an anime. I remember they came out with a movie just as well, just like Uncharted, and that shit didn't work out. So I'm curious what they could do with the medium of anime with them. Like an Uncharted anime, I'd watch that too.
And you know what? For me, that was always strange that Uncharted didn't work.
That's what I'm saying. Under different, we went to go see the Uncharted movie in theaters, and that didn't work. I feel like it could work in an animated setting, especially when you're always like when you switch from video game into like movies and TV series. Sometimes it's hard to get like legit ages and the kind of actors and stuff like that, because that's what happened with the whole Tom Holland effect.
What I don't get about Uncharted the movie is that should have worked, because all Nathan Drake is modern day Indiana Jones. So I don't see how they dropped the ball there.
Well, they picked who they picked, and that didn't work. They picked Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg. That didn't work with that.
Yeah,
but if you just get voice actors and shit like that, it'll work easier if you just animate them to look a lot like who they're supposed to look like.
I was thinking like this movie should be easy. I'm like, y'all have a template for this. This is not new per se. I was like, this should have been hard. So I don't know why it failed so hard.
But then you get some situations like The Last of Us that worked out pretty phenomenally. Yeah. So it's a case by case on who has control and the studios and all the above. To be honest, hell, like I remember I was curious that they were doing the Sly Cooper movie in like updated animation and stuff like that. That shit never came to fruition. I remember they dropped trailers on that and they were selling people on that, and then they just dropped the idea altogether. So I was curious how that was gonna go. Like it's very up and down with shit that whatever they want to work on.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah. So we'll see and see what they do with the next lineup. I'm pretty sure it's Tomb Raider, Terminator, and Suicide Squad is the live action stuff turned anime this year. So we'll see how that goes. Let's go into some nerd and reboot news. So after we finished an episode last week recording, I just got the news that they are adapting, and we did a review on this before we like started putting stuff out. But there's a like live action show that's based on the Kakagurui anime that's gonna be turned into live action. Just like the concept of it, and kind of like I guess they're getting tips from the show and the directors like stuff. I think it's called Bet or something like that, but it's like more of a black cast and stuff like that. And it's a mixture of people all together, but it's kind of going under the same philosophy of that turned into live action. So I don't know. Once again, Kakagurui, when we reviewed that was all about weird faces and all kinds of expressions and wilding out during card games and shit like that, which I don't know how the hell that's gonna come off in live action without looking extremely goofy.
Las Vegas.
Yeah, so that's another one that's one of those dangerous bits that when they switch the medium, we'll see how the hell that works out. Yep. Next up on the nerd news, speaking of the flip, now Studio Trigger, studio that's done fantastic amounts of different projects and stuff like that all around, they are in the discussions of actually thinking about doing a Planet of the Apes anime.
Ooh.
Now, Planet of the Apes has seen large amounts of media in like they had an old cartoon, they had a TV series, they had multiple movies and reboots and all kinds of stuff like that. They're working on the new, however many movies they're working on now, but they've never been tackled in anime, and they're like some of the oldest genres in the book. So 100% I would be behind this, especially with the amount with the studio they got behind it and stuff like that. It's an easy thing to follow up, especially in this modern day and shit like that. So I would be 100% like Studio Trigger gonna make that shit go crazy. So I'd be down for that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yep. Next on the docket, John Cena has gotten I don't know if he found out about this before or the information had sent to him because somebody tweeted or all of the above. But hopefully this is more a question of maybe it might be in the news. But like John Cena posted up his Peacemaker anime counterpart in the Isekai anime with the Suicide Squad, which makes me think that they might have gotten homie in the studio for about two things. He either could possibly do the ultimate job and do the dub voiced over the Crunchyroll edition, which would be super cool. Or they could get him for somebody joked, I think it was Mansoor on Twitter that joked, and they said get him in the studio for the Mandarin dub because John Cena speaks really good Mandarin.
Well, that's right, huh?
So honestly, he could do one of two ways, but if he ends up actually dubbing his character, I'm like legit, John Cena has done amazing things for this character Peacemaker. Cause like before John Cena donned this whole fit and did the Suicide Squad movie, nobody gave a shit about Peacemaker. He has combined to full. He has taken on the role like Chris Evans and Captain America. Like 100%, John Cena is Peacemaker. So if they get him for the dub, it'll boost up this shit by miles.
Yep, now you're right. It would. And Josh Cena has done a really good job with.
Oh yeah. That's one of his babies. I think they might have just finished filming in Canada and stuff like that for season 2 and stuff. So I would not be surprised if he was like, hey man, let me just get in the booth and see no working man. You know he like to work, so maybe he might. So next up on the docket, this one might be something interesting for you because this is a video game turned into a series. I don't know if you heard about it, but did you hear about the Like a Dragon Yakuza series coming to Prime?
I did hear about that.
Yep, they're doing a live action series of it. I think it's coming out this year, maybe. I saw a poster. I didn't see a trailer.
So this is another one of those things that, in theory, it should work and it should be an easy transition.
How wacky is the Yakuza? I have never played a Yakuza, so how wacky did these series get? Because I know you was pointing out stuff all through when we was in Japan. So
yeah, it's not that wacky. It's not that wacky.
So ideally,
it's something that they can definitely pull off. Like even with the fight scene, it's doable.
And I mean, it's gonna be on Prime, and Prime got money. And then on top of all that, Prime has become the home for like comic accurate live action and animated stuff. Like look at what they're doing with The Boys. Look at what they're doing with Invincible. Look at what they did with Fallout. I mean, Prime is becoming the home for. If you get a series here, you might be happy.
Yeah, so I could definitely see them going the Invincible route with Yakuza. It'll definitely work. So, like I said, that would.
Oh, but this is a live action series.
Yeah.
So
I can definitely see like doing the crazy fight scenes and stuff like that. With the Yakuza world, it could work.
Okay, so we'll convene further on this when we get a trailer because I'm curious to see what the hell that pops out like.
I'm just curious to get. I'm just curious who they get to play who.
Yeah, because I see like I gotta show you. I don't know. I gotta show you the poster and stuff like that. Because it's a picture of somebody showing their back off with a big ass tattoo and stuff like that. So I don't know who that is or
that's
what.
That's probably Kazuma.
Probably. So I'll send you and then you inform me of what the hell's going on there.
Yeah.
That's
usually how they start. That they've done that particular thing in a couple of the games. So
okay, cool. So as long as they keep that accurate and stuff like that, that's good signs. And person whoever they pick look pretty built and stuff like that. So that's a good point. All right. Following up on more nerd news, we got the Venom 3 trailer that came out this week. Did you see it?
I saw bits and pieces of it.
The most important part that I've seen of that wacky ass trailer, which I mean, if you know the Venom movie series by now, by the time they hit the third movie, this movie has hit exactly what they need to do. It's a different look on Venom just in general, especially the comedy stylings of the relationship between Eddie and Venom. But like everything is encapsulated by like the last scene where like Venom takes over the horse and he becomes Venom horse and shit like that. Yeah, that shit reminded me of Ghost Rider. Speaking of the way we was chatting about Ghost Rider shit, that shit was cool. So big ups to that.
Venom, you took over the horse? I'm like the horse, bro. Really?
I'm 100% down. Eddie and Venom are such a fucking funny ass duo, and I'm always down for that shit for sure. So definitely gonna be checking that out. So next on the docket, we got a season 2, not a trailer, but I think it was like a new poster of the Arcane series, the famous series that came out on Netflix a couple years back. I think it was like French animated, but it was such a different comic accurate style that was like under the banner of stuff that like Spider-Verse was coming out with, but it was like an Arc System meets like comic book stylings. Everything about that animated show was like fresh and genuine, and it felt different. The action was crazy and stuff like that. So everybody thought the everything came together in that series looking so well. So them finally announcing the highly anticipated season 2 with their new poster and stuff like that. The poster being an homage to like the first season and stuff like that is pretty cool. And I think it's supposed to be coming out towards the end of this year. So, I mean, like we keep saying, plenty of good animation stuff we're getting this year for sure. Yeah. Yep. Next up on the docket, we got, so I don't know. Did you ever get the chance to watch the Vince Staples show?
No.
Okay. The Vince Staples show. I mean, I knew that nigga was funny since like Abbott Elementary and shit like that, his special guest appearance. And Vince Staples is a good rapper and stuff like that, but like you never know who could transition to different worlds and different roles and shit like that. Vince Staples in his short show that he had in season 1 and shit like that shit was hilarious. They have an ultimate set it off joke in one of the episodes and shit like that, but like the shit is absolutely hilarious, and I'm happy that they got a season 2. So Netflix is behind on this show and pumping up whatever they need. So they got whatever they needed to get the announcement for the season 2 to get that shit rocking. So I'm hyped about it. That shit is fucking funny as hell, and I'm excited for season 2 on that shit. Yep. So
that's what's up. That's what's up.
Definitely. Next on the docket, we got. So it's been a while since we talked about something of this nature, but you know, Star Wars fandom is acting up again. The last time I think we talked about it was when like the Obi-Wan show was coming out and whatnot. So the new Star Wars Acolyte show has dropped, and people are calling it woke, and they're attacking.
Here we go again.
Yeah, yep. They're attacking the one of the main character girls who's seen racism all throughout every medium of every time she like plays a role or something like that. Like she was the little girl that played Rue in like the Hunger Games, that they were attacking her for racism, even though in the book she was described as a certain way of black, but everybody just assumed she was supposed to be white, and then they cast a black girl, and they was yelling at her then, and she grows up to go into Star Wars, and they're yelling at her now for being black in Star Wars too, and a whole bunch of like they have black people, they're like, this is a diverse cast of people all around in this series and stuff like that, talking about it's a series that's supposed to go all the way back before all the stuff that's happening in current day or whatnot, like when all the Jedis were still around, all the High Republic and shit like that. And by them representing that, they want to show off like a whole slew of people. They got Asian actors, first ever Asian Jedi in there, black actors, all kinds of black actors, and everybody's like, oh, this is Star Wars wokeness, yada yada yada, instead of just thinking, I mean, Star Wars is about like aliens and galaxies and shit like that, but when you put in like minorities and shit like that,
it's a problem.
Everybody gotta yell, everybody yell woke, everybody yell, it's crazy.
Everybody woke, it's a problem, blah 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 blah. I'm like,
yep. It's like
miss me with that.
It's all the bullshit. It's Star Wars fans acting up again with the foolishness, especially when they call and ask for different stories, and the second it's not about the white people, hey,
right? Everybody got a problem.
Mm-hmm. Everybody always got a problem with some shit, right?
Right.
Yep. All right. So next on the last few bits on the docket, we got Godzilla -1 finally hitting Netflix, and it hit Netflix, and it swept straight through all the way to like top number 1, and everybody's down with it and stuff like that. Everybody's enjoying it and stuff like that. Co-host, have you seen Godzilla -1 yet?
I've not seen it yet.
All right. Well, whenever you get the time, I would recommend tackle that shit on Netflix. That shit is phenomenal. Second that shit hit Netflix, I watched that shit again. Shit is still good. That shit is one of the best Godzilla movies, point blank. And you can have the dichotomy, because you can love Godzilla X Kong, which is more the goofy smash 'em up, Smash Bros style. You can have a serious one like Godzilla -1, where Godzilla actually appears fucking scary as hell. I definitely recommend that. That shit is fire. Next up. Yep. Next up on the docket, we also have this just dropped today, but it got me thinking about something. But they got Baki Hanma, so Baki of the Baki series, versus Kengan in the Kengan Ashura Oma in the Kengan Ashura series. And it got me thinking of, because this is like one of the I don't want to say it's the only time they've done it, but this is one of the most current times that I've seen anime give two characters of similar show variety, and they made like a special OVA / like movie kind of deal where the characters from both sides of the series came together in like a big fighting tournament to see who's like the better main character and stuff like that, which made me think about like anime mashups and stuff like that. And what would you think? Like, what's two series that you see likewise would fit together if they were like in a series together, and they just wanted to do like a tournament, not even like a fight to the death kind of situation, just like maybe a big special movie where they hung out and then took out a villain, or hung out and then decided to spar with each other or some shit like that.
Oh, we got a couple. Let's see, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto could do it. Let's see what else has a cross.
Ironically, Dragon Ball did a special one time with One Piece and Toriko.
Hey, that's another one. One Piece could work too.
Yep, Goku and Luffy have eaten together.
All right. So that would be interesting.
Think of it like one of our Power Ranger team ups.
Oh, ooh, okay.
Like a Forever Red for anime.
Good. That'd be wild. I would do once. I'd do Bleach. I'd do Rurouni Kenshin.
I'm trying to think. What's a nice samurai? Well, people have always. I don't know. Because
just for the hell of it, we can throw Yasuke in there too.
I was thinking of well, yeah, actually, no, that would be out. So if you take Yasuke himself out of the realms of the shit that was happening around him, I would do a hell of a special of Yasuke because he would have been around that Oda Nobunaga time and stuff like that. Him and Kenshin running into each other. Like, let's say Kenshin was on a Samurai X mission that he had to take out Nobunaga, and Yasuke was his handler at the time, so he's there defending him, and then you get that. Or easily, I mean, hey, it's Yasuke versus Afro.
Ooh, oh boy,
yeah.
Woo!
And he's come for the headband in number 1.
Right? Yo, oh man.
Like we can. There's definitely a good amount of samurai anime out there that we can work with and stuff like that. Yeah, definitely for sure. Ooh. Definitely. Yeah. So on the strength of shout outs to Netflix, sometimes they might be mishandling their anime here and there once in a blue moon, but they give us like some stuff that we don't expect. Like this isn't even anything that they had in the manga, nothing like that. Just one day they just do a special of like 2 anime characters coming together, and that's just interesting. That's shit that you just want to see.
Yeah, that'll be. Whew.
Yeah, that's cool. So that's on Netflix now. I saw that shit earlier. That was good fights and stuff like that. Interesting way how they deal, but it's I miss sometimes I talk about this all the time, but I miss sometimes the mixtures between like just the random mashup specials or OVAs or just sometimes the random movies that don't have to be canon and stuff like that. Like Dragon Ball Z used to do like 13 and they just be fun. And the number one thing I miss out of all of that is the soundtracks, man. I get it. I get why y'all love to put in the Japanese soundtracks and stuff, but I don't mind sometimes having different editions of the movie with a different soundtrack that have different feels to it. Because I miss some of the rock music and some of the soundtracks that just boost and hype up shit.
Yeah,
different feels and different things.
It definitely is a different vibe, and
Yep.
Different is not always terrible.
Oh yeah, definitely. So the last bit of some nerd news. We have a interesting biopic that's coming up that I just seen the trailer for. Pharrell decided to do a biopic on his life entirely done in Legos.
Really?
Yeah. So it's Lego characters, all kind of like the Lego movie and stuff, like kind of stylings and stuff. And Pharrell is doing a biopic on his life and stuff like that. They done Lego recreations of Jay-Z and Snoop and Kendrick Lamar in there and shit like that. Looks cool. I think it's an interesting take on somebody who decides, because niggas do biopics all the time and stuff like that. And Pharrell deciding to do a Lego shit like that, that's interesting, and it'll definitely pull people to watch it.
Yeah, that's a choice for real.
Definitely. Wow, yeah, I know, right? Cool. Some more bit of reboot news. Jim Henson's documentary is on Disney now, who gives the history and the breakdown of how the Muppets came to be, how the Sesame Street came to be and stuff like that, how one man's vision changed the course of how we see Muppets today. Which it's a funny thing that documentary dropped like on Friday, but then I saw like a big thing on Twitter about like this recent episode of The Masked Singer where somebody was singing and stuff like that, and they removed the mask, and they're wondering who the hell was inside this big ass snail, and then all you see is pop out the snail is Kermit. And I just love the mere fact, and this will never go away, and I just love the vibe of how we have all accepted as a society that Muppets are just people, like they're just regular celebrity in the real world.
Yeah,
that's just everything that like the most things that people would look down on you about and stuff like that in society, we have all accepted that. Like people like Kermit, Miss Piggy and shit like that, like Rover and stuff like that, they're not puppets, they're actual stars of the society and stuff like that. Like they pop up on red carpets. That shit's super normal.
Yeah, nobody bats an eye.
Nope. And it's an amazing thing that I just like as a society. We just keep it up, because like you just like think of the concept of Masked Singer, and then think of somebody putting somebody in a gigantic snail only to you pop it up and you wonder who's the person inside it, only to see a Muppet.
So, yeah, it's like, oh, it's Kermit. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's just Kermit. Like that's amazing that everybody just keeps out the bit because the Muppets are that amazing.
Nobody bashing out. If it was Big Bird, they'd be like, what the fuck?
I mean, they would have just been like, it's Big Bird, goddamn. How you fitting there, bro?
Right?
Like, that shit's crazy. Nah, but that's good. And then on the same energy of that, my last bit of nerd news is that they put, now I've been seeing this float around and stuff like that, and somebody had brought this up to me and stuff like that, and I was interested in the idea of this, but like, how do you feel about like horror characters that now are in like regular medium stuff that is just, it's so funny to see them in, but they just fit it so well because they just put like Jason in the Multiverses game, and you have like Jason fighting like Shaggy and chasing like Finn from Adventure Time, and Velma and Tom and Jerry is hiding in a cemetery from Jason and stuff like that. I see like Jason on Fortnite and stuff like that. And you think about how like growing up, these characters are like known as like these horror icons and spooky stuff like that, and then they put them in like certain mediums that just fit them so damn well. Like the move set in Multiverses where like he uses his machete and he uses like a sleeping bag to attack people, and he uses a crushed up bed to smack people and stuff like that. Like it's the detail in certain characters that makes it so great that if you know, but it's like they expect kids to play these games, and it's just like these are like highly touted murderers in like movie series and stuff like that you got in these games playing around with like these cartoon people and stuff like that. And like Jason's on Fortnite and stuff like that. Like it's crazy the concept of like horror villain characters and stuff like that, and like different kind of mediums like that.
Yeah, it's one of those things like, oh, so this is what you do in his off time.
Oh yeah. Like we're literally using a stabbed sleeping bag. So somebody's in that sleeping bag that he uses to hit people with, which is like a wild concept for people to just use as attacks and shit like that. Like one of his attacks is his obvious teleportation, where he just disappears in the black smoke and then just pops up on another part of the stage, which is like everybody made the joke about Jason being fast as hell in Spirit and shit like that. Everybody's played into it.
Yeah. It's like, whoa. It's like, whoa.
I love shit like that.
You're not outrunning Jason.
Nah,
that's why,
man.
That's why old boy squared up with him in the movies back in the day because he knew what was up.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about in the concept. Like you see a movie like that where he squared up with the homie and eventually got the upper hand and punched homie's head off. You see that shit, and then years later you think about the concept of this nigga being in like these Smash Bros like games and shit like that. You're like, damn son, I never thought I'd play as fucking Jason versus like Agent Smith versus LeBron James versus Bugs Bunny. Like Multiverse is a wild ass game, but I enjoy the hell out of it. Superman versus the Iron Giant and Jason Voorhees versus Agent Smith and Wonder Woman and Finn from Adventure Time and Garnet. Like damn,
like the conversations would be hilarious.
Oh yeah, big time. I love the conversations as it is. What was it? Somebody put up this one was a clean stray towards Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but they have Joker in his costume, the Batman who laughs, and one of his opening lines when he fights Black Adam is, "Weren't you supposed to change the hierarchy or something?"
Oh shit.
I was like, now that's content, baby. One of Black Adam's costume is straight up. He turns into the Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Oh man, that's crazy.
I love content like that. The meta commentary and everything. It's super funny. So that's great. But yeah, so that closes up nerd and reboot news all alike, and we can step into some main event time. It's time for the main event. Main event of the evening, A Shot of Kurosake anime review from your brothers here. We are going to be doing this week Gurren Lagann. Let's step into some fast facts before we hit episode 1. History is that it's also known as Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, Heaven Piercing Gurren Lagann. Streaming currently on Hulu, Crunchyroll, Prime, Netflix. I might think it already probably gotten taken off by that time, etc. Just in general. Studio Trigger's famous work, pretty much root cause to their creation in kind of 2011, but really famous under Gainax, animated by Gainax all around. 27 episodes, 1 season, produced by TV Tokyo and Aniplex. Ran from about April to September in 2007. Genre basically is an adventure, comedy, drama, and mecha, following the story of warriors' rise to adventure as they have a drill that pierces through the heavens, and hopefully they that issue's not blocking them from going through and whatnot. So let's step into episode 1. Bust through the heavens with your drill.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, of course, you get the intro first. I like the intro.
Intro was it was vibes.
Yep. And then we're looking at this little underground society here. I'm like, oh.
Yep. Well, we open in on the universe. We got that big explosion. We see a captain preparing for war with the ship Gurren Lagann. We curious on who the hell that is, and then we switch over and we open onto this little adventurer digging through tunnels. And this is our introduction to Simone.
Yeah, to Simone. I was like, what?
Yep, Simone.
I was like Simon? They know Simone.
Yep,
I'm like,
Simone. You gotta be fancy with it.
I'm like, where's little swiggly on the eye then? Come on. With the come on. You can't do that to me.
Nah, man. He hit it with the fancy. He said no squiggly lines. I'm gonna say it the way I said, just like how people spell Erica different ways.
Yeah, I was like, okay, Simon.
Yep. So he digs for food and he tries to help out the society going down. He going down on his little monologue and stuff like that.
And I was like, oh, okay, it's just interesting.
Yeah, he doing his stuff. So he finds a glowing drill because he's looking for treasure and stuff like that. He looks for treasure in his society and stuff like that. Bring back stuff. But he going through the junk and he finds a little glowing drill. Which off camera right now, I have one of my first pieces of anime merch is the same kind of glowing drill that he finds. So I'm wearing that necklace right now.
I remember that necklace. Now I know what the reference is.
Oh yeah, this show is something special. But yes, the glowing drill. He looks for the treasure and he puts the drill on the necklace as well. So boom. So there, and then we got Simone going through all this digging stuff on that. So he's like dirty and messed up because all he does is dig all day and stuff like that. Yeah. He pop out of there and he got women heckling him for being a digger. They say he nothing but
let's talk about these haters.
Yeah, they throwing shade on homie.
Shady. Oh, y'all ain't right.
Yeah, they being nasty towards my son Simone. They was like, nah, you dirty, you nasty, all you being is digger, you just dig all day and stuff like that. Like y'all ain't doing nothing, but
they like you smell. They're like, oh no, he's looking at us. Look, he's gonna come and get dirty. I was like, oh, y'all.
They hating on your boy.
Instead of hurting all that, suddenly now got his head all down.
Yeah, he feeling kind of hurt and stuff like that. And then he explains like, these are the people. We live underground. We don't see the light. We live in a society down here, and that's how we do it. And then out of nowhere, we get an introduction to a brash and very confident certain gentleman. We meet a certain man by the name of Kamina, who encourages him, son. He's like, nah, from this day forward, you call me bro now. Yeah. Big bro, son.
Yeah. He was like, hold your head up.
Yeah, he said,
nah. We got pride.
He said, forget them other women over there, man. Yeah. I'll tell you right now, believe in yourself.
Yeah, the road. Yeah, the road. I was like, yeah.
He said he encouraging him into what he loves. He talks about how his drill will be the drill that will pierce the heavens.
Yeah, speaking life into the homie. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Kamina got a team together through youth, man. He got a team. He said, man, you're gonna follow up. You're gonna follow up on Team Gurren, man. You're gonna be rolling with us today, man.
Yeah, we're gonna bust about son. We out of here.
Facts. He said, I'm sick of the dirt, sick of the funk, sick of not getting no sunlight. My skin can't take it no more. Yeah, with Team Gurren busting out of here. They going to the surface.
He's like, we trying to be outside.
Facts. He said Team Gurren is aiming to free themselves to the surf, trying to go outside, baby. Mm-hmm. So they end up taking pigs to fly to the top.
Right. Yeah. So we got a whole pig stampede going.
Yep. They got a whole merging and fusion of them all landing all the way, pulling all the way to the top.
We almost there.
Yeah. Right. But then they run into this hating ass.
Ooh, I hate that the
Chief,
chief,
man,
the
he
hater.
saw he
Ooh.
saw that from distance. He said, "Oh nah, y'all ain't going to no surface. It's crabs in a barrel down here, and I'm dragging you down."
Yeah. He's like, not on my watch, more.
Smacked them all the way to the ground, and the chief dismays in the belief of the surface. Kamina talk about, yo, we just trying to get the surface, we trying to get out of here and stuff like that. And Chief's like, ma ha ha, y'all trying to leave the space. You know, I'm the one out here taking care of all of y'all. Why you trying to leave? You ungrateful? You not trying to like what we doing around here? I'm running shit and you trying to fight it off? Like, what's wrong with you?
Listen, we trying to get out, homie. Trying to get out.
Kamina talks about his time with his dad, talking about he wanna go to the surface. Before his dad went off and disappeared on him, he was like, my dad had dreams of going to the surface. He had dreams of a better life and stuff like that. He instilled that shit in me, so I'm going to the surface too.
Yeah, he's like, Chief, listen, my job's to keep your eyes safe. We ain't nobody going to the surface. Ain't nobody going nowhere. Chief
hating ass threatened them with no dinner.
Yep.
He said he is betrayed, and then he threatened him and his friends punk out. They like, man, son, I don't know about no dinner, man. I'm hungry, bro. And the second they walked away from him, he was like, oh, all right, stop it. Sure, it is. Y'all not my boys no more. Y'all can no longer call me bro.
Yep. And then Simone is there. He's like, yeah, you, Simone, I see you.
He said, Simone, come on, son. You the last person left. And Simone like, man, I don't know, man. I kind of just met you, and you kind of wild and stuff like that. But like, I'm trying to do what it do. But even the chief was like, you know what, Simone, I know you wasn't the main culprit of this shit, so you can go on ahead. You could go off. And Kamina at first, he's like, you know what, man, shit. You know, I take the brunt of this, Simone. If you want to go, I accept that, because you didn't jump out in the way just like the other fake ass niggas want to jump out and betray me. But I'm gonna let you. It's all right. See, if you want to go, you could go.
Like, Simone was like, you know what, I don't want to go. I'm like,
And then right when they have this discussion, that's when we get the earth start to shaking and shit like that. Shit get crazy. Everybody spooked and running out the way. Communist standing strong. He said, this earth shake game shit.
And Simone over there had a whole PTSD flashback.
Oh, facts. He was having a whole stress and stuff like that about everything that was going down. But Kamina was like, nah, bro. You got to stand tall. You got to stand tall with me. Ain't no being scared around me, because I'm the bro. And you the bro too.
Yeah.
So it's a whole stampede shit going crazy. One of the little tiny pigs pop up on Simone, stuff like that, hiding in his little jacket pocket and shit like that.
I was like, oh
yeah. And then he goes, and then the next scene we go off. Homie goes to the little tiny pig, pops up and goes sees Kamina, because they already got Kamina all locked up in prison, which kind of is a harsh thing to go from no dinner to locking Kamina up in some prison type shit. Like, damn.
Shoot, they got something solitary confinement.
That ass, they got him shackled and locked down and behind bars like he done killed somebody.
Right, just the next thing we see Simone, he's still digging.
Yeah, he talks about his parents, and the reason why he got PTSD is because they died through earthquakes as well. So he says they underground, so it's inevitable. It's inevitable that one day these earthquakes is gonna come down, shake, rattle, and roll, and crush the shit out of it.
Yeah. So at this point we see Simone, he's digging, and he finally found something. So he's blowing the eye.
Find a little face. Little face of a something going down. His drill goes shiny up in that shit.
And then at that point, he drills into Communist cell.
Yeah, he goes.
I gotta show you something.
Yeah, he was like, bro, I gotta show you what the fuck I found.
Yeah.
But on the way, right there, when Kamina frees himself and starts following Simone off to see what he got. Oh, there you go, hating ass village chief right there. Right there waiting.
He's like, oh yeah. He's like, that's why I do patrol too, son.
He said, I knew you was a no rotten, low down, dirty son bitch who was gonna escape from my jail.
Yeah, the hate.
He said that little prison sentence you got, make that shit another week with no dinner. You better start eating dirt, boy.
Like, you hate us.
Sounded like Dwayne whipping on Cody. Look at your boy now.
Yeah, he like Simone, that goes for you too.
Since you want to free niggas.
Yeah. And Kamina was like, nah, I got this.
So right in the middle of all the drama going down, we got another earthquake that starts to shake and go crazy and go down and shit like that. And in the midst of that, that, like a little bit of the
Dome,
surface
yep,
is starting
yep.
to reveal itself and shit like that. And Kamina said, "Oh shit, this is my opportunity." So he go pop out his glasses,
Yep.
and that's where we hit. That's where we hit the midpoint.
Yeah, and then we see this big giant thing, and it's like, what the hell is this?
Kamina points to the surface, and then that's when that monster pop out, and you was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yep.
So Kamina calls out the chief for not protecting, because that monster came through and started rampaging through shit, and Kamina like, "Oh, you was talking all that shit about protecting the village and doing shit for the village. What you doing, chief? What you doing? Get up and go get your sword, bro. It's time to handle shit, right?" Exactly, big man with big sword. What's good?
Like, you talking all that stuff. Been talking all that stuff this whole time. Well, there you go. Go handle that. Go
like
handle
a punk
that.
Ass bitch. So Kamina pops out, takes that sword. He go talking to the monster, and it talks back to him somehow. And he starts to hype up his team. He's like, "Nah, bro, we got this. We gonna handle this. Whatever the fuck this is, we gonna handle it."
Yeah.
And right before that monster starts attacking, we got our enter of a woman with a big sniper that starts firing at the monster. And this is our introduction to Yoko.
Yoko's like, "Listen, y'all better run."
Yeah, so Kamina instantly starts to see her, and he gets into her because he was like, "Hey, yo, hey, what you looking? Damn.
Would you like, hey, old pretty mama?"
Yeah. And in the midst of that, she telling him to run because I no time to Google eyes, nigga.
Yeah.
So she says she's from the pit next door, but also she's seen the surface and shit like that. So Kamina put them hands together. He said, "Oh shit, you from the surface? Shit, I mean, look, I was about to go to the surface right now." So they go looking for the ship, and in the midst of that, Yoko had the shot, but Kamina messed it up with his man bravado and stuff like that. Like he wanted to stand 10 toes down and shit like that, and block the shot because he was like the monster's distracted and shit like that. And she was like, nah, nigga, get out the way. We got to handle this monster now.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, "Nah, son."
So they find the ship's face and they jump in it. Him, Simone, and Yoko all hop up in the ship. And the glowing light starts to go off, and it glows the same way as Simone's drill and stuff like that. So he uses the drill and he sticks it right into the spot to activate it at full power.
Yeah. Woo! Right? Yep.
So Kamina encourages Simone to handle it since he found it. This is his stuff. So he said, "Yo, you know what you got to do, Simone."
Right?
He told him to believe in me who believes in you.
Yeah. He's like, "You got this, Simone. Get him."
Yep. So we got the spiral key merge, and the ship transforms and speeds off.
It's like, get him. Yo, get him, bro.
So in the midst of all this, the rest of the village is super shocked on what the hell they saw, because this has been a crazy ass afternoon. Earthquakes, monsters, robots flying all around and shit like that. Shit crazy.
Y'all scared of you?
This ain't even a samurai society and shit like that. This is just a mech anime. So this is the right place to put the mechs. So Kamina names the ship Lagann from Team Gurren, and he speaks of actions of being a real man, and they on the head of the monster and starts dodging the attacks because the monster's getting tired of them motherfuckers on top of his head.
Yep, on the top of his head. He coming to the machine. He's like, "Yeah, I got you."
Yep, and then Kamina being support A1 out here talking about he got to make the impossible possible.
Yep, go.
Yep. So Lagann, so the monster about to grab them, and they're all on top of on top of Lagann's head and stuff like that, unprotected and shit like that. Then the monster starts attacking, and then Lagann just cradles them all up in the ball inside of its head and stuff like that. Starts guarding them against the monster's attack, but the monster's still smacking them around and shit.
Like, good shit.
So they need more power, and Simone twists the key even further. He said, I gotta give that bitch more juice. And then we got another drill that comes kicking out, and the 3 drills that pop out straight out of Lagann becomes enough to cut through and blast through the monster and drill all the way to the surface in one foul, like, super blast.
Yeah, I was like, ooh.
So they end up leaving Gaia Village and make it all the way above to see the surface with all the air and open spaces.
Yep, they're like, oh, uh-oh.
So right when they hit the surface, Yoko tells her name and introduces her. And then we got Buddha coming straight out of her breast.
Yeah.
And then
why does the little pig thing keep chilling here? He's like, oh.
I mean, after the pig thing from earlier, I think it found itself caught up with the people. Like it got, I guess it got bumped from its people, and then I guess it just popped up on Kamina and stuff like that, and was like, "Fuck it, I'm with the adventure."
Yeah.
So Kamina introduces them both to Yoko, and Lagann protects the group on fall damage because they are in the air and they are crashing down real fast. But Lagann keeps everybody protected from taking that mean ass fall damage, and then right after everybody lands out of there, you see Simone land right into Yoko's chest.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, sorry, oh shit."
You know Simone's face is gonna be, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, guys, puts it right back and say, "Oh shit, things bad to worse."
Yep. So things went from bad to worse right after that because they realized they in danger because there's some other mechs right behind them to end off the episode.
Yep.
So the ending theme is another vibe, and then we got the preview for the following up episode done by Kamina himself. So, what is your first impression for the first episode?
I liked it. I really liked it.
Yep. The dynamic between the bros is always thing to see, man. If you want to talk about one of those things where like an instant friendship and a instant boost up of somebody who gives you like a great spin on energy and shit like that. That's Kamina and Simone here.
Yep.
Yeah, there's two dudes from the underground breaking through, wanna achieve dreams and shit like that. So definitely a group that hits the mark. We just met Yoko and stuff like that. So I said there's a great trio and energy to establish a dynamic and hope and dreams and dangers of the world.
That was good. This was a good start episode.
Yeah,
set us up the world nice.
Yeah, and then the cliffhanger.
Everybody except the chief is generally likable.
Oh, big time. So you get right into it, and we got our main people and stuff like that. So on that point, we can step into episode 2. I said I'm gonna pilot that thing. Yeah. So narration tells of a story of a great warrior and recap. The mechs chased them and the team with the other monsters and stuff like that. And Yoko landed with them and stuff like that. All the recap of the last episode and stuff like that. And dealing up to when they met the new monster mechs and stuff like that, and then chasing them down and whatnot. Yep. So Simon instantly gets scared and he wants to go back. He's like, "Yo, this is the wrong decision. Fucking hate this shit already. I'm already out the surface. I get it. I got enough air. I got enough vitamin D. I'm ready to go back in."
I'm ready to go back down. They're like,
Kamina, he's standing on his principle. He said, "Fuck all that. You ain't going nowhere, big boy."
Right? He's like, "We ain't going back down that dusty hole."
Bro, do you know how long it took us to fly all the way to this fucking surface?
Right?
But we ain't going back.
Kamina's like, "We outside."
Facts, and we staying outside now.
Yeah, we are not going back in the hole.
So Kamina standing on his principles, giving his prep talk and shit like that. But just in great Kamina fashion already, like when the monsters go to attack him, he stands still, and Simone instantly goes there to save him. He's like, "All right, fuck all that shit." And then he's like, "Kamina, you're really stupid for you to just be standing up and shit like that without no protection and shit like that." And Kamina like, man, I have faith in you that you got me, bro.
Like, I'm Kamina, we got this.
Yeah. So in the midst of that, Yoko,
we got this.
Yoko out here shooting in some wild positions.
Clip.
Okay. Yoko and her sniper be doing damage. So Lagann falls because the power is out. They ain't get the kick of what the hell's going on with Lagann. Lagann acting up. That drill ain't producing the key ain't starting up the engine no more right now.
Come on, you gotta treat Lagann like you treat an electric vehicle. Come on, it needs recharge.
Yes, give it a couple smacks, man. Come on, son, get that shit together. Blow on it like a game cartridge. So that shit boot back up. Treat that shit like the PS2 when you're waiting for that signal to show that shit is still working.
Dude, oh man.
Facts. So you got so Simone's crying and he's scared while the monsters follow and stuff like that. And then out of nowhere, right when they was about to get attacked by these pilots and stuff like that, we got friends of Yoko that just pops up out of nowhere that starts shooting to help her. So it's Dayaka and the rest of that crew and stuff like that. And you got multiple gunfire going all the way off. Yoko super hyped that her crew came through. and they shooting all the monsters to run them off.
You know, I realized what Lagann reminds me of?
What?
Krang from Ninja Turtles.
The taking over the ship?
Yeah, the body of it reminds me of Krang with the brain with the arm. Like, oh
yeah. I mean, the idea of a little, like, honestly, that's just that definitely is like mech series in general. That's why that big argument came out a long time ago that people were saying is Attack on Titan just a humanoid mech series, because a lot of them you see them inside the body of the thing and be piloting it. Like I had a long discussion with somebody going all the way back in an old black comic series and stuff like that. I was asking, I was like, do you think Attack on Titan could be a mech series? Because you see them from a perspective of inside, and they're using the big body Titans and stuff like that. Like Titans is a humanoid mech. So they kind of like all like mech basis stuff, and the way how people are inside the pilots and shit like that. It stems from like Tokusatsu and Power Rangers and shit like that. But they also got that hint of Krang where they're like inside the body and stuff like that, moving. So it's like a mix.
Yeah,
I mean, fucking Krang fits in Power Ranger dynamic and Tokusatsu shit anyway.
That is true.
Yep. So after the Dayaka and the crew shoot out the monster, something jumps out of the ship, and they talk to each other, and they find out that the things that are piloting these gunships, as they call it, are beastmen, and they show up, and they're supposed to technically show up during sun time and not downtime. So when the sun's up, you can expect them. When the sun's down at nighttime, they should all disappear and wherever the fuck they are. So Kamina encourages Simone again. He's like, yo, we survived this shit. We Gucci. You always gotta have faith, man. We're gonna handle this business. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, we like, we got this.
So they go back to the operation base with Yoko and the rest of them, and we see some of these eccentric crew members and stuff like that. And this is where we get our meeting to Leron, aka just Ron, who loves mech.
Okay, Leron. Yeah, Leron is who, boy.
Oh, Ron is something else. So Kamina speaks to so I like off rip when we talk about Ron's personality to himself and stuff like that makes a lot of the hyper masculine men around him very worried. Like Kamina was on that don't mess with me. And Ron was very open about sexuality and that thing that made the masculine men around a little interested out here. It was like, I don't know, man. So after meet and greet with everybody and the crew and stuff like that, we got Kamina off to the side, and he speaks to his dad and watches to like the stars and stuff like that, and thinks about like the last time he saw his dad and hopes in traveling and hope for one day that he like gets to see his dad and stuff like that. So Ron shows up and like fix up the mech, and he's looking around all of the mech and stuff like that, and he goes towards the boys and says like, do they know how to read this stuff? Y'all been underground for so long, yet did y'all really learn how to read and shit like that?
It's like we on the surface for like a day. Of course we don't know how to read.
Yeah, so they think about people living on the surface and stuff like that. Ron explains that he deals in mech and tech for the team. And then that's instantly when he rubs Kamina the wrong way with his sexual lingo and stuff like that. So Simone shows Yoko the drill power and stuff like that, and how everything works and why his shit charged up and whatnot. And then I said in my notes, Kamina and Ron are like two sides of the spectrum, where you got like hyper masculinity and and encourage femininity and stuff like that, like the flow patterns of that. That's why they're always button heads. So yeah, so they end up going across the area, and they find the dead body, and they end up nicely burying it and stuff like that. And Kamina vows to pierce the heavens before he dies and stuff like that. So in the midst of that, you got Yoko's people come up to the surface due to the circumstances of them facing gunmen and stuff like that. So they make it to camp, and Simone and Kamina, they knock out. So that's kind of like the midpoint and stuff like that. So when we come back after break, we got Kamina recalls that of his talks with his father and where he gets his dreams and bravado from, and that he was kind of also abandoned by his father at a young age and stuff like that. His father just left to do his own bidding and his own adventures and stuff like that. But he instilled everything from the conversation that Kamina had with his early father. You understand why his personality is the way it is.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So right in the midst of that Kamina dream and stuff like that. They wake up, but they wake up in the middle of like gunman violence and stuff like that. The Beastmen are already on their ass. It's first thing in the morning. Nobody had breakfast. Nobody eating. Nobody drinking coffee. It's straight gunfire.
Like I can't even wash my ass yet. Y'all shooting at me. What the fuck?
Facts. Ain't take a shower. Ain't take a shit. Ain't take a piss. Not nothing. It's gunfire, man. That's your alarm clock here.
Like ain't nobody say nothing about on site.
Yeah, no, it's on site now. They said you handled 2 of our basemen, 3 if you counted the one from underneath and shit like that. Now we getting it back in gunfire and rain. Yep. So we get one of the iconic lines from Kamina. We got the "Who the hell do you think I am?" when he's introducing himself to people, and Kamina will not pilot he will not pilot the Lagann because he knows that thing belongs to Simon. So he's like, "Yo, Simon, you can't be scared, buddy. The shit going down. They shooting with us. They ain't got no bacon, no egg, no nothing. They came here with hot gunfire. So, Simon, you're going to have to handle this, boy. You got to hop up in there and turn the key, buddy. You're the only one with the key. The key was promised to you, buddy.
Like, you got this, Simon?
Yep.
Go get him.
So Ron been working on Lagann, and he's like, well, we out here to help. And he helps Simon to tap into himself into the ship and stuff like that. So the crew facing off with the 2 monsters being silly and shit like that. Crew trying to send in all kinds of battalion, shooting fire back at the gunmen and whatnot. Yep. The tremors start to shake off, and once again, Simon getting PTSD of what killed his parents. Man, that shit is hitting him like a bad dream in the early morning. And then he starts to put 2 and 2 together. He starts to realize that these monsters are the cause of that shit. So he like, motherfucker, you the one who end up killing my family and shit like that. So he gets charged up. He gets charged up and shit like that. And on top of that, this is one of the parts where I start to like about Gurren Lagann, because their soundtrack slaps, and it feels like their soundtrack feels like when you get one of those good Dragon Ball Z movies where they just start to implement the rock music right when shit starts to get real. Like, So they kicked that right in the moment where Simon was at his angriest, ready to explode and shit like that. So he hopped up in Lagann, and they get ready to go at it, and then a third monster joins in on the mess.
Yeah, it's third monster. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, come on, bro.
Yeah, that shit a mess. So the Dayaka is firing back and bombs and all that shit, but to no avail.
I'm like, man, Simon, he just start jumping in the other mechs, start busting them out, knocking them out. Yep. Like the Green Ranger.
Fucking Kamina out here. He was hyped, yo. He was like, yo, that you got a pretty nice ship. You know what? I want that shit.
Let me take that.
Kamina already plotting on the ship. He's like, I got my bro got his ship. It's time for me to get mine now.
Yeah, he's like, I like this. He's like, ooh, this.
So him and Yoko go back and forth and stuff like that, because that's their dynamic of hollering at each other, shit like that. And then Kamina and Simon in Lagann go after the monsters and stuff like that, and Simon in full rage mode.
Yeah. I'm like, oh shoot.
Kamina gives him good advice though. He says that he tells Simon how to like process his emotions to really use the mech's power.
Yeah, yo, for real. Yo, that shit was wild. Yo, I'm like, yo, when you had Simon there after he's going to his rage and he gets a little butt whooped.
Yo, so they fighting, but with Yoko's help and stuff like that, and they going back and forth with all the monsters and shit that's going out there. Kamina aims to take the robot, but Simon is playing like defense and shit like that, while Kamina is trying to aim to get the robot that he wants. He ends up going to the spot and boots and takes over the ship, but it ends up rejecting him at start, because I guess these ships are connected to the DNA. Honestly, all of this kind of reminds me of Power Ranger ships and stuff like that, where they have you access to your DNAs and shit like that. So definitely Tokusatsu in this for sure. So it rejects him. The other monster thinks his man's been killed in a funny moment, but his man's has just been kicked out of the ship. He's like, I'm down here. He's like, I'm gonna avenge my man. He's like, bro, I'm not even dead. I'm down here, bro. Just pick me up.
He's like, nah, you dead. You dead, bro.
Damn, son, you just gonna kill me off like that, bro?
Yeah, you did, bro. Sorry, bro.
So they put hands to bots. They put hands to bots because they going back and forth. They throwing punches and landing go mink right on them niggas. So Kamina pumps back up up while seeing there's a rampant skull imagery that comes through his head after they saw that random skull that was like buried in the sand and shit like that from earlier. So he starts to get he starts to hit his PTSD moment and stuff like that. And then Kamina uses that as a boost and works the machine into like fighting back just to protect Simone.
Good job. Right?
Yep, he ends up grabbing Simone and he chucks him like drill first at the monster, but they end up dodging and they start laughing. They was like, "Oh, that's all you got," and shit like that. Simone ends up reversing the trajectory back on them like a boomerang and shit like that, flies off and goes straight through both their asses.
I'm like, oh.
Yep, takes out
that's
the
how
whole
you
ship.
do it. See, that's how you do it.
Yep, big respect for Kamina and the Beast Commander. They both dip. They out of there. The crew was super impressed. It was like, oh shit, you took down like three more Beast Gunmen early in the morning with no breakfast, no water, no bread, just war.
Right.
Yep. So the crew's impressed. You got Kamina naming his new ship Gurren, and then Simone got the Lagann. So that's how we get the name of the title right there. We got the Gurren Lagann when they put their mites together.
Yeah.
So Kamina's out here determined. He's like, my next mission is now I gotta be out here. I gotta look for my dad. I gotta go on a travel and find what's going on. And then the skull pops back up and he notices the stuff that's attached to the skull. He's like, wait a fucking minute. And he sees all the pieces that are attached to the skull. And he realizes this is his father. Fuck, my dad's been dead, and he's probably been dead for years. And that ends off the episode.
Yep, you see him crying. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
man.
I'm like, oh. That shit hit, man. This nigga wanted to go to the service. That shit. He wanted to go to the service and stuff like that, and he wanted to see, like, he wanted to meet his dad and shit like that after all these years to show him, what he learned and whatnot. And damn, just get hit with that dose of reality. So that skull imagery and shit like that. That's why he was connected to the skull and shit like that. He realized that was Pops. Crazy. So what's your final impression on this episode and this series as a whole and continuing forward?
So for this, wow, it was a lot.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I was like, oh man, I felt that in my whole soul. I was like, oh,
yep, crazy ass cliffhanger off that.
Yep, I would definitely keep going because now I'd be like, dang it, can't leave off like that. Who killed his pop? How long he been dead? What was going on?
Yep.
His mom. So what's up? Oh man, like, oh,
yeah, a whole guessing game off of that and stuff like that, and just to continue and stuff like that. But yeah, it's crazy, a lot in a short amount of time. So boy, does that should ever reach prevalent in this entire show for sure.
What does the chief think about all of this?
Yeah, what about the hater ass chief down below?
Yeah,
what does he truly think? What do the oppressors ever think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, but definitely I recommend it, especially getting through them first couple episodes. Definitely be crucial, man. If you do definitely continue to watch this, especially probably around episode 10, let me know because that's it's gonna be a big shift. It's gonna be big shift and stuff that definitely happens. Series goes a long ways, and the bro relationship is something else. But so yeah, that definitely super recommended for everybody to watch. It's a short series compared to a lot of stuff around its time for sure. Having a 27 one season show is something else. But yeah,
what do you feel this is one of those things that should have got a season 2? Or
I'm going to put that to you when you finish it.
Okay.
I can't say anything because that might spoil it. We'll bring that back when you finish your journey. It's some journey. Okay. But yeah, so I'll close the book on a fantastic series of Gurren Lagann. I mean, to be honest, once again, there's a reason why this was my first piece of anime merch, point blank. That's how important this is. Okay. But yeah, so this is the closing up on the book of Gurren Lagann for this week. And for our next review / preview for the next episode I have on the docket for us would be a Down with BMP. We're finally hopping back into some Power Ranger distance type stuff with Black Morpher Power. And this has been on the docket for a while, but we finally gonna get into it. This is not Power Rangers like, but it's kind of adjacent, and a lot of people have talked about the series. But we're going to finally tackle VR Trooper episode 1 and 2.
Oh, okay. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I don't know why I thought we did this at some point, but wow.
No, we did a lot of things, but it's been held on the docket, but we haven't been able to tackle it yet. But definitely VR Trooper, one of the better parody series under the Saban and Power Ranger banner all alike.
Yeah, I think it may have just come up in conversation a lot. But,
yeah, it did. We pushed this back a lot of ways because everything just kept happening, and from guest episodes to other things coming up and stuff like that. But this is like one of those. We've done a bunch of the parody stuff like that, but this was like always one on the docket that we haven't like touched on.
Oh no, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. I'm over here humming the theme song in my head.
Oh, definitely gonna have fun with that. So we got an email set up at blerdbynature@gmail.com, Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Blerd By Nature, Twitter /X at Blerd By Nature, nature spelled Nature. Call us, hit us with the YouTube.
You can find us on YouTube by searching for Blerd By Nature Podcast.
Yep. And we are available on all podcast platforms. Follow us, subscribe to us, do all those things to keep up abreast on all our stuff and all our content coming out. Currently, as we are recorded right now, our last upload is a combo of both our Avatar live action Netflix review with our guest Jordan and the X-Men live episode 2 gone out in podcast form with Sir Wilkins, and all good stuff and more to come. Any last notes before we hit the outro, co-host?
Simon, look out!
Believe in the bro who believes in you, man. We them bros, man. We them bros. We gotta keep them energy up and hype each other up, man.
Right.
Definitely. So thanks for joining us today from Black Thought to Nerd Power. This is Nicholas, Mr. Go with the Flow.
And this is the man with the plan, Maurice.
And this was another edition of the Blerd By Nature podcast.
Thank you for listening, everyone. Until next time, peace.
Row, fight the power.